Hey, good evening. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer and beatboxer, and tonight we're going to be listening to Hoist the Colors, performed by Bobby Bass and the Bass Singers of TikTok. So, I don't have any social media outside of YouTube, and I have no idea what to expect from this. This video happened to show up as I was looking through voice play videos, actually. And if you guys haven't seen my reaction to voice play's Hoist the Colors, I implore that you do. It's really great. The music video is. And my reaction maybe. You know, that's up for you to decide, so go ahead and check that out. But just from reading the title, I'm assuming that every vocalist in this rendition of it is a bass, and I'm really excited to jump into it. I haven't worked my way through this video yet, and I'm so excited, and I hope you are as well. So without any further delay, let's jump into it.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed, and bound her in her bones. The seas be ours, and by the powers where we will we roam.
Haunting.
Yo.
Oh!
All hands, hoist the colors high.
Oh!
Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. Now some have
Oh my gosh!
some are alive, and others sail on the sea. With their keys to the cage and the devil to pay, we lay to fiddler's grave.
Oh!
All hands, hoist the colors high.
Yeah!
Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. Yo ho, all together, hoist the colors high.
Oh!
Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. The bell has been raised from its watery grave. Do you hear its sepulchral tone?
Oh!
We call to all, pay heed the squall, and turn yourselves toward home.
Oh! Oh!
Yo ho, all hands, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. Yo
my gosh! I'm gonna keep this brief. They utilized silence beautifully. These very simple harmonies had so much impact on the leading melodic line of Yo Ho All Hands. And that one man with the salt and pepper beard, oh, his voice was so robust and broad, and it just had this natural resonance deep down in that basement of sound. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm shocked at how every vocalist that had their own line had such a strong bass resonance in their vocal line. Even if their line was a little bit more in that baritone realm, the moment that they actually hit real bass notes, it was still just as full as any true bass. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna jump into the analysis now. I want to pick these vocal sections apart a little bit more. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited just to listen to this again. Oh wow, dude! Oh, just an amazing arrangement of this. Incredible.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones.
Something I love about that beginning section there is the fact that this entire opening section has no vibrato. The king and his men stole the queen from her bed. And it's just haunting in terms of the fact that nothing is spinning. It feels very hollow, very shallow, kind of like a spectral, ectoplasmic, ghost-like qualities. And it's very haunting in that way, especially since we associate sounds of the gamelan, or that gong bell sound that we hear. I feel like many people associate that gamelan sound with that haunting atmosphere, such as it's commonly used in Disney's The Haunted Mansion, so it's very easy to correlate that kind of sound to something haunting, and they utilize it so well here. It has this very strong reverb that just completely encompasses you as you hear this line that doesn't have really any breath spinning. It's just this very direct, haunting vocal line. The king and his men stole the queen. And it's just flowing so smoothly, and it's just so haunting. I want to listen to this entire thing again.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones.
Very gentle vibrato at the end there. It's not too big, and it allows the cadence to have a little bit more energy just to start the next cadence again, but still keep it very hollow and dark and musky. Very similar to the background of this very navy, dark blue horizon with the sea and that lone ship. Very eerie. Love that.
The seas be ours and by the powers.
Oh, he's taking so much time emphasizing these vowels and consonants. There's only some very select days that I can do it in this register, but as of today, I'm just going to do it a little bit higher. The seas be ours and by the powers. And you just get these really broadened and stressed vowels that just all circumvent each other, and it's so bold, but yet still maintaining that hollow, haunting atmosphere. Really well executed.
Ours and by the powers. Where we will, we roam.
He's so gentle with his approach. Where we will. And it's just so haunting. And it just sends chills down your spine. Oh yeah, dude. It feels so good. This very smooth, velvety quality that has so much support, and it feels like this cool, haunting mist just being pressed against you and passing through you. And oh, it's so eerie and so good. I love this so much, dude.
And by the powers,
Yeah.
where we will, we roam.
And I also love the video editing of having his spectral image behind him. It's really cool.
Yo.
Oh, and just starting into that vocal fry. Yo. It creates this feeling of drag. And we get that established right from the actual instrumental in the beginning, where we're trying to get adjusted to a certain tempo, and that tempo is just a very slow drag. And that's being reflected not just in the music itself, but in his approach to each vocal line. And it's such a good touch. Everything just works so well together here.
Yo. All hands. Hoist the colors high.
Beautiful harmony. It's just a simple chord, but because of how weighted all of these voices are, how foundationally strong and sturdy they are, you just feel the full brunt, the full impact of this chord just slamming you in the face. And all of their approaches are very similar to each other, where it's just a very strong drag, but it's not with a lot of vibrato. It's just that straight tone, haunting, well-supported bass quality, and it's so consistent and good.
Hoist the colors high. Heave hands. Hoist the colors high. Heave ho.
Yeah!
Thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Ugh.
Now some have died.
So this is actually something that I really enjoy. Oftentimes, and I struggled with this a lot in classical music, where my teacher would always point out to me that when I began sentences, I would always start singing the word before actually singing the word. And what she meant by that, and what I mean by this, is if I was singing a word like now, for example, I would start by singing it no, and you would hear that glottal, that with the before actually beginning the word now. No kind of feeling. So because that was such an inveterate habit for me, I would work really hard in my practice room to always ensure that when I was singing no instead of no. So the fact that they utilize that no is really great, because it feeds, like I was mentioning earlier, it feeds into that drag. It feeds into that vocal fry, into the vocalized line. And it all has the same tonal atmosphere, which is the suppressed, murred feeling through the mud. And it's so good. No. Yeah, it just feels like the spring down on the diving board before flying up in the air, and it's great.
Now some
Yeah.
have died and some are alive, and others sail on the sea.
Yeah, notice how his vibrato is a little bit more consistent in his line here, but he's still maintaining a lot of straight tones, and he's still creating this slightly warmer atmosphere, but it's still very haunting and still fits the tonal atmosphere of the piece extraordinarily well.
And some are alive, and others sail on the sea. With the keys to the cage and the devil to pay, we lay to fiddler's grave.
I love how forward and direct he is on this note. We lay to fiddler's grave instead of great. And it's so direct and targeted right through the middle of his mask, and it's so forward, and I love how present that sound is. Instead of being all-encompassing like the next leading vocalist is going to be, just having this very direct bass sound is a really nice contrast from each other, and it's so good.
To fiddler's grave.
Oh!
Yo-ho, all hands, hoist the colors high. Heave-ho, thieves and...
And I love this higher vocal line here. Yo-ho, oh. Even though it's still quiet and it meshes in with the rest of the bass lines, it's just nice having something a little bit higher just to balance out a little bit of this extraordinarily full bass sound that we're getting. So having that higher line is really, really nice to have, even though it's very quiet.
Never shall we die. Yo-ho, all together, hoist the colors high.
Also, look at how all of them are singing the word die. On the far left, we get da, more of an open ah. In the second to the left, we get I. In the third, we get I. Fourth, I. And moving on, I. All of them have different vowel shapes. And normally I would be a little bit more picky about this to have them all sync up to the same vowel, both inside the mouth and in lip formation. But because this is more haunting sea shanty-esque, very similar to the way many spirituals would be performed, where it's not so much about the perfection and precision of the music. It's about creating and generating a very specific atmosphere. It's about the message. It's about what's actually happening during the piece. And the fact that all of them have different vowels on this, but are hitting the note dead center is what's primarily important, because the atmosphere of what they're doing with all of their different vowels, whether it's a little bit brighter or a little bit darker from I to I, and having that contrast just adds so much more varying textures on an exact note. And because they're all hitting the same note, just with slightly different vowels, it genuinely sounds like all men on deck, full canvas, hoist the colors. Just really great stuff here. I love the way that they're approaching this.
Hoist the colors high.
Beautiful use of silence here, aside from this ambient wind. Really great stuff. Love that transition. With the gamelan reverb.
The bell has
Oh!
been raised.
I love this man's voice. Even though it sounds like it's a vocal fry, he's just resting in this deep basement of sound. Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's so robust and just all-encompassing. It's magic. He's probably my favorite vocalist. Not just because of his notes here, but just because of his timbre and his approach to these vocal lines. Oh my gosh.
Beggars, never shall we die. The bell has been raised from its watery grave. Do you hear its sepulchral tone?
That beautiful fall-off taper was immaculately executed. It had so much strength and control, and let it just do its thing as it fell and evaporated. And on top of it, his vibrato is so warm, which is an exceptional pairing with this chilling atmosphere that's surrounding his warm, sultry voice. Oh my gosh, it's magic.
Sepulchral tone. We call to all, pay heed the squall, and turn yourselves toward home.
I have to listen to his entire line again. I am so sorry. It is that amazing.
The bell has been raised from its watery grave. Do you hear its sepulchral tone? We call to all, pay heed the squall, and turn yourselves toward home.
Magic, dude. He just holds on to these vowels. He allows some of the consonants in some of the words to pervert the vowels, like the word turn, kind of leaning into that R, but still maintaining that U sound and allowing that sound to just be penned into the rest of the cadence. And it was just so well executed, dude.
Selves toward home.
Yeah, and these ship sounds. Ugh.
Yo ho, all hands, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. Yo
Ugh.
all together, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Chills. And just the fact that it went from an ah to an e as a transition, instead of clipping the e on at the very end, it just further emphasizes that drag we're feeling. Oh, it's so magical, dude.
We die.
That was an incredible arrangement of that piece. Very consistent, very smooth. The atmosphere was consistent all the way through it. The approach that each individual vocalist had on their leading melodic line was superb. The counterbalance of having a higher bass vocalist in the chorus of the piece, yeah, dude, it was just enough to not have it be oversaturated with bass, and it was just so well arranged and well executed. And each vocalist had their own specific timbre and sound quality and specific approach to their leading melodic line, and each were so distinct and unique, which is really great to have because it feels like each member of the crew is different instead of just all singing the same song, just having different verses. I love that difference, that contrast. It's just so many elements were both similar and different, and it just worked so well. Really great job, guys. I dig that so much. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If y'all liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments below. I do read all of the comments, even if I may not heart or reply to all of them, so please just know that your comments do not go unnoticed. My live streams are currently Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you guys would like to stop by and say hey or ask any questions about myself or the channel, I'd be more than happy to be there for you guys. My voice studio is officially live. Check a link in the description below to set up an appointment with me so we can pursue voice together. I love the opportunity to meet you guys, not just through YouTube, but through individual voice lessons as well. I want to take this time to appreciate all of you for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.